Hi there everybody, it's Linnea. I'm going to be creating a fun under the sea mermaid card using the Mermaid Treasure stamp set as well as the Under the Sea stencil. Now this stencil is so fun. It's super intricate and I love that there are so many different parts to this stencil on one single stencil. I love the LDRS creative scene building stencils, and this new one is perfect for underwater scenes. And you could even just use the waves off of the top as a wavy border. So I'm going to start off here with some Tropical Sea hybrid ink. And I have masked off the bottom portion of the stencil so that I can just ink the top, the wave. I'm going to blend the wave as well as the top of the card so that I can have that be, like a wave, and then also the rest of the body of water. I'll move my tape down just a little bit, and I'm going to ink blend the school of fish. What's super awesome about this school of fish is that they can go either way. In fact, this whole stencil could go either way. You can definitely flip this upside down and use it the other way. And I will do that in just a little bit so that I can have a school of fish heading the other way as well. I used some Boysenberry Blast ink for the fish. It's this deep purple color and it's so pretty. For the seaweed, I'm going to be using Olive Branch. I wanted to have more of that like seaweed green color. And you could definitely mask this off and have the different kinds of seaweed and coral be different colors. I decided to take the easy route and just do all of it one color. So I'm doing Olive Branch all across the board. After every time I blend a different color of ink, I am just taking a microfiber cloth and just quickly wiping the stencil just so that I don't get any ink transfer. And you will see later that I didn't do a great job, and I do get some ink transfer. I use Swimming Hole for those little bubbles. And now here's where I'm going to flip my stencil upside down, use Boysenberry Blast ink once again, and just blend on some of that ink so that I can have my stencil or my fish going the other way. Now I got a little blip there, and originally I thought, well, I'll just put my mermaid there, but I really wanted her to be on the left side. So I used a sand eraser and just lightly scratched away at that ink, and you can't even tell now. I had intended on leaving this background stark white, but I really didn't like it. I thought that it was too harsh. So I'm coming in with Swimming Hole ink. This is the same ink that I used for the bubbles, and so very lightly blending this ink across the bottom of my card. And you can see here, this just kind of tones back that white and makes it look more like it's under the sea. Now, since I'm using hybrid inks are amazing because there are so many different properties and different ways that you can use them. They dry to the touch pretty much immediately on cardstock, but they kind of sit on top so that you can heat emboss with them and you can do lots of other techniques with them. So as I blended across, I didn't heat set my inks. So that Swimming Hole ink that I blended also kind of picked up some of the other colors, and I don't want to say smear because it's not a bad thing that it did. It kind of softened the edges of all the stenciling that I had done. And at first, I panicked and I thought that I didn't like it, but the more I look at it, I like the softness of it because it almost makes it look like the seaweed at the bottom is shifting and moving like it really does in real life. So I thought that it was a fun little effect. But if you didn't want that, you could definitely avoid that by heat setting before you blended that ink across the other colors of ink. Okay, so I stamped a little mermaid from the Mermaid Treasures stamp set. I've kept most of the coloring in. I've just sped it up. I'm going to be using some colors that match the background. Not match, but coordinate with the background. So I'm going to make her tail be this deep purple color. I thought that would go well with the school of fish. I'm going to use some yellow and then some dirty blondish brownish hair, and I thought that would play off the purple of this fish and of her little mermaid tail here. Once she's all colored, I will die cut her with the coordinating die from the Mermaid Treasures stamp set. And I'm just going to position her onto my stenciled background, and then I'll grab that stamp set once again and find a sentiment that is going to fit kind of right here to the right of the card. I'm going to pop this into my stamp positioner tool. I like to use this when I'm stamping sentiments because I don't have the steadiest hand in the world, and I like to push really hard. So a stamp positioner helps me a lot with sentiments. I'll use Raven Hybrid ink to stamp the sentiment. I love this ink because it is very detailed and you're going to get a crisp black sentiment. So after I have that sentiment all stamped, I'll add some foam behind my little mermaid and pop her right up to the left of that sentiment so she's kind of going with the flow under the sea. I completely love how this card turned out. The Under the Sea Scene Builder stencil is amazing. You can do so many different things with it. I hope you guys get really creative and are inspired by this card. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you soon. Bye.